At the club bar, Sally and Billy discuss what to wear to Dumis' party. She's super excited about going to Nice, though she's aware it's a business trip. She's all in. Billy is too. They're about to get on a plane and do something very few have done before them. She asks if he's talking about the Mile High Club. He likes that idea, but was talking about the mask coming off of Dumis. They go over how Dumis has never done anything like this before. Billy thinks that if he wants to keep his identity hidden, it could be a bargaining chip for them in getting a partnership. He assures her there will be time for rest and relaxation. Sally reminds him there's another R, romance. He kisses her. Billy's looking forward to the work part of this. There's a reason why he invited him, Jack, in the winters. This is going to be an ambush on the one and only Victor Newman. Sally thinks they'll need to pack flak jackets, but Billy thinks it will be more subtle. Sally asks why he's so sure this is what Dumis has planned. Billy says he's pissed at Victor about Chancellor and he wants it. He's assembling an army. Sally asks what about Dumis ghosting him. Billy thinks he's keeping him on ice until the plan evolves. Sally argues that he's acting like a puppet master. Billy could be used as a human shield. Billy thinks it's the ultimate strategy game. Sally says it's not a game and not safe. They should skip Nice and let the others fend for themselves. Sally and Billy bicker about her wanting to back out. He argues that Jack will be there, and it will just be a bunch of veiled threats. Sally wants him to admit it could get vicious. Billy reminds her she'll keep him from doing something reckless. Sally realizes she's the only thing keeping him and Victor from tearing each other apart. Billy cracks jokes, and Sally's not amused. He tells her if plates start being thrown, they'll leave the party, or they can be spectators. He tells her not to worry about Phyllis. She wonders why he brought her up if there's no reason for concern. Sally worries she'll pick a fight with her in front of Dumis. I have claws too. Billy says they won't go near Phyllis. Nothing bad's going to happen in Nice. Sally sighs. Now he's jinxed it. They're all doomed. Nikki greets Chelsea at society. Victor's wife wants to know more about what's going on at Newman Media. You know what I'm asking. Chelsea laughs that she and Adam are happy, but marriage hasn't been a conversation. Nikki tells her she doesn't have to cover. If things aren't going well, she can tell her. Chelsea admits there's been some challenges. The problem is Victor. Chelsea says she respects Victor, but he's insisting they push a certain narrative on the platform that has nothing to do with business. Nikki wonders if she means the story about her at Chancellor. That's just how synergy works. Chelsea says she deserves the accolades. Victor is forcing Adam to attack Billy as part of the story. Nikki's surprised that Adam has a problem with that given how he feels about Billy. She realizes it's Chelsea putting on the brakes. Chelsea admits she's discussed it with Adam. How does she handle Victor and get him to back off? Nikki says the issue is her handling of Adam. Chelsea says she's made her feelings known and Adam has agreed not to fling mud in Billy's direction, but Victor's relentless and demands results. Nikki's sure Victor's picking up on Adam's reluctance. Chelsea says he's trying to convince him going after Dumis would be more productive. They realize that won't deter him from Billy. Chelsea asks how she can get Victor to leave Billy alone. Nikki says it's not a battle she can win. He's an Abbott and has defied and challenged Victor repeatedly. Why does Chelsea feel the need to protect Billy? Nikki wonders. Chelsea says it's about protecting Adam too. Chelsea doesn't want Adam and Billy to become the next Victor and Jack. She doesn't want Connor and Johnny's fathers in constant conflict. Adam wants to do the right thing. Nikki says they needn't worry then. Chelsea is worried. Adam wants to make Victor proud and happy. His instinct is to comply when he makes a demand. Chelsea needs to come up with a way to sway Victor. Nikki admires her determination. Welcome to the world of trying to save Newman men from themselves. Chelsea fawns over the way Nikki handles Victor. Doesn't it get exhausting? Nikki tells her love makes all the difference. She tells Chelsea to remember who Adam and Victor are when she's picking her battles. Chelsea thanks her for listening. Nikki reminds her again that she can't tell Victor he was wrong, but maybe he would accept a deal. Make him an offer, something he might want in exchange for backing off. Chelsea asks what she could possibly have that Victor would want. Nikki says it would have to be valuable and something he'd want more than revenge on Billy. At Newman Media, Adam tells someone on the phone to hold the piece on Billy Abbott. No one gives the green light but him. He disconnects and flashes to Victor, ordering him to smear the Abbott, and Adam saying he'd handle Chelsea. He then recalls promising Chelsea he'd never use NM to take Billy down. Victor walks in and is happy about the article he ran on Nikki, but he hasn't seen any critical pieces on Billy Abbott. Adam tells Victor his job is more than playing attack dog. Victor informs him his job is what he says it is. Adam has a strategy. Nikki needs to shine on her own without Billy pulling attention away from her successes. Victor wants him to crash that person in the second wave of stories. Adam says, "Understood." Victor moves on to protecting Chancellor from Dumis. Victor admits he doesn't have an update on Dumis, but tomorrow they're leaving for France. Adam learns Sharon's coming as Nick's guest. He thinks it sounds like they're a couple again, and tells his father he'd be happy for her if that's the case. But only if Nick doesn't break her heart again. Victor reminds him he has his own family to worry about in business to attend to there. Adam wonders if Dumas' big reveal is for the guests or the world at large. Should they be planning an expose, or will Aristotle try to keep all of these people quiet? Victor thinks the party may be a distraction and the real action may be in Genoa City. They need to be aware. Meanwhile, Victor has his own agenda in Nice. He wants Adam to follow his directive and attack Billy Abbott in print. Adam asks if that's his plan in Nice. Victor says Billy has a connection to Dumis, and he plans to take advantage of it. He'll make him an ally, and together they'll bring down Jack Abbott. Chelsea arrives at Newman Media and eavesdrops as Victor talks Dumis and tells Adam to print the attack story on Billy tomorrow. He walks out and Chelsea intercepts him. "I was hoping we could talk." Victor has an appointment. She asks for just a few minutes. He tells her he'll meet her in an hour at Crimson Lights. Chelsea thanks him and joins Adam, who asks, "What was that about?" She says she asked him to meet. She wants to make a deal with him so he'll stop attacking Billy. Irritated, Adam says this is between him and his father, his boss. There's no reason for her to get in the middle unless she doesn't trust him. Chelsea insists that's not it. Victor's not backing off Billy. He feeds off revenge. Adam asks about her plan. She'll offer him an incentive to leave Billy alone. She has to try. Adam warns she'll risk alienating him forever. Why would she take this chance for Billy of all people? "Are you not over your ex, Ert?" Chelsea asks Adam if he's serious. She has empathy and guilt. He did a lot for her, and now she's working for a company that wants to tear him down. Adam's unconvinced she'll stop Victor from doing something he wants to do. What could she offer? Chelsea says, information. She's figured out who Aristotle Dumis really is. At Crimson Lights, Nikki tells Victor that Chelsea came to her for guidance about how to get him to leave Billy alone. Victor grunts that Chelsea's an outsider. Adam knows what to do. Chelsea needs to make up her mind as to whose side she's on. She lives on the Newman property and works for Newman. Nikki asks her husband to give her credit. One has to be strong to be with a Newman. Victor teases as to whether she gave her the secret to handling him. Nikki muses, if only there were such a thing. Nikki wishes she had a secret trick to make Victor change his mind. He asks what she told Chelsea. She says, I told her to bribe you with something he'd find worthwhile. She's rooting for her. There's no reason on earth for him to even be engaging with the Abbotts. She asks if he's figured out anything more about Dumis. He says the only one in contact with him is Billy Abbott. If he thinks he's a good ally, It doesn't speak well for Dumis. If his plan includes Billy, he doesn't have a plan at all. At the club bar, Billy tries to get Sally excited again about nice. They'll have wine, seafood, and be close before anyone is even awake. There's no downside. If it's not their vibe, they'll leave. Sally guesses they can get back to packing, but he has to promise her one thing first. There has to be minimal drama. Promise me if things get messy we will leave. Billy gives her his word, but he does love a good fight. Sally's unconvinced he can follow through, but if it becomes a train wreck, they're out the door. Billy agrees, but he's confident that won't happen. He's sure this will be a life-changing trip for everyone. They kiss. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Here are your The Young and the Restless spoilers for June 12. When Victor drives a hard bargain with Chelsea, Kyle receives Claire's blessing, and Audra keeps a secret from Nate. Victor Newman is arguably so successful because he takes a multi-level approach to his problems. The mogul knows that Chelsea is a barrier when it comes to getting Adam to follow orders. On Thursday's show, watch for Victor to drive a hard bargain with Chelsea. He's mostly accepted her back into the Newman fold in light of her and Adam reuniting romantically. However, Victor wouldn't hesitate to drive a wedge between Chelsea and Adam if it meant he'd get what he wanted. Chelsea may have to choose between keeping Adam in her life and getting him to do the right thing. Kyle told Jack and Diane that he wanted to share the details of his contract with Victor with Claire before he told them. On Thursday's I&R show, watch for Kyle to receive a blessing from Claire. Does that mean she'll be okay with Kyle's offer to give her grandfather $5 million and leave town if he breaks Claire's heart? Victor and Kyle may have very different opinions as to what would constitute breaking Claire's spirit. Claire's granddad pretty much believes that Kyle is already not worthy of his granddaughter's heart. Victor also doesn't care if Kyle is tempted by Audra, his minion. Kyle may be getting Claire's blessing. Audra has been playing cool, calm, and collected on Y&R since allying herself with Victor. She's assured him that she can fulfill his desire to expose Kyle as someone unworthy of his granddaughter's heart. Her plan to get Victor to fund her company entails going with Kyle to France, where she can help get the proof Victor wants. Audra's focused on her business plan, but the woman is in a personal relationship with Nate. If she brings him up to speed on everything she's doing, Audra stands to lose him. On Thursday's show, watch for Audra to keep a secret from Nate. If Nate discovers what Audra's been up to and that she's been lying to him, she may find the adage about feeling lonely at the top is true. Young and restless Mariah is harboring a secret so horrible that she can't even confide in her closest loved ones. We all assumed she'd cheated, but the truth is much darker and more consequential. So much so that it changes everything we thought would happen. When Mariah returned to Genoa City from her business trip for Cassidy First, she was clearly a different woman than she left. Her emotions got the best of her when she reunited with her wife, Tessa, who could sense something was off. The same held true for her mother, Sharon, who sat her rattled daughter down for a chat. Mariah confessed she had done something so terrible whilst on her trip that she couldn't even believe it herself, and she definitely couldn't tell her wife. It came out that Mariah had been struggling with guilt over Ian Ward's re-invasion of their lives and the damage he'd wrought on her loved ones. The unbearable feelings led her first to the hotel room's minibar, and then to the well-stocked full-size version, presumably in the hotel lounge. This was pretty much the extent of the information she shared with her mother, leaving us all to assume she cheated on Tessa while under the influence. But when she next appeared on screen, another piece of the puzzle emerged, and it was a doozy. Mariah had been approached by someone whilst intoxicated, but not by a hot temptress or even a handsome business type. Instead, it was an older man who featured in Mariah's flashbacks. He walked up and mused, "You look like you could use a friend." Well, This just left us, frankly, with a bad case of the creeps. Not just because he was hitting on a drunk woman sitting alone, but because he was giving, we hesitated to even think it, but culty Ian Ward vibes. This is where the nature of the story becomes darker and graver. With Ian being so much at the forefront of Mariah's thoughts ahead of her business trip, it wasn't long before we began to speculate that in her drunken state, Mariah at some point mistook this man for Ian. Our worst suspicions were all but confirmed when Mariah told Tessa that it wouldn't be safe for her to tell her the truth about what happened that night. The only reason she would say that is if something serious occurred and she didn't want to involve her wife in the aftermath. Our theory? The man followed Mariah back to her room and made her uncomfortable. In her state of inebriation and distress, his face reminded her of Ian Ward, and she reacted strongly, driven by past trauma tied to discovering he had taken her as an infant. Did Mariah do something irreversible? It certainly seems as though that could be her dark secret. Depending on how long it takes to come to light, it could still negatively affect her marriage and even push Tessa closer to her new confidant Daniel. However, once the reality of what Mariah's been dealing with is revealed, we're certain her wife will want to support her, whatever she is facing. With the truth being so consequential and life-changing, the implications will definitely be different than if she'd merely made a mistake in judgment. Tyria has some heavy drama ahead of them, soaps readers. Billy Flynn made headlines earlier this year when it was revealed that he'd be exiting his role as Chad DiMera on Days of Our Lives and joining The Young and the Restless in a new role. Now, the soap opera is speaking out about why he left Salem to move to Genoa City. I love the people at Days, Flynn tells the current issue of TV Guide magazine, but I felt like my version of Chad had run its course. It wasn't for money. I wanted to feel excited again about the work, and I wanted to work with different people and learn more. Executive producer / head writer, Y&R, Josh Griffith was familiar with Flynn's work from when he head wrote Days, and according to Flynn, reached out to the actor directly. The universe works in mysterious ways, and Josh called at the right time, Flynn adds. The actor says there's a certain gamble in leaving a role he's been very successful in for a new part, but he feels this is the right move. So my wife and I talked, and I made the decision to take the jump, he says. I'm really glad I did. Y&R threw Flynn into the deep end on his first day, having him share scenes with Eric Braeden, who plays Victor Newman. You hear so much about the myth of him, and it was just great, Flynn said. We got along from the jump. He's just super kind and sweet to me. I felt like he gave me the blessing, and that made me feel good. Flynn does not reveal who he'll be playing on Y&R, but he is set to debut the week of June 16. That coincides with a big gala that Aristotle Dumis is set to throw. Has Flynn been cast as the enigmatic businessman who has invited the key power players of Genoa City to his home in Nice, France for a gala? Viewers will have to tune in to find out. Due to Days' advanced taping schedule, Flynn will continue to be seen as Chad on the Peacock drama. Flynn isn't the only star to be doing double duty in daytime drama. Wally Kurth plays Justin Kyriakis on Dayways and Ned Quartermain on General Hospital. Chelsea confused much of Genoa City on the June 11 episode of The Young and the Restless. Nikki wondered why she is so eager to protect Billy. Adam wondered why she is so eager to protect Billy. And soon, Victor will wonder why she is so eager to protect Billy. But we think we know. Chelsea and Adam are back together. Again, Nikki compared them to herself and Victor. Hey there. Chelsea and Adam are very complicated, but they're not that complicated. Yet, give them time. The comparison was apt enough to make Chelsea realize that she and Adam still have a bit of work to do. Chelsea was raised by her mother, Anita, to manipulate situations, and she was taught to always have a backup plan. Chelsea's obvious backup plan is Billy. The next time Chelsea and Adam inevitably break up, Chelsea is going to need to be able to turn to Billy for support and reassurance. And that would be harder to do if she just helped Adam and Victor to publicly damage Billy's credibility. While outsiders might assume that Chelsea is standing up for Billy because she is still in love with him, though she did float that weak Johnny/Connor excuse. Yeah, nobody bought that. We realize it's not love. That's motivating Chelsea, it's practically. The Abbotts have much to discuss. For the Thursday, June 12 episode of The Young and the Restless, spoilers photos show the Abbotts hunkering down and discussing all the drama befalling their family and their company. Kyle should be on top of the world. He has a wonderful son, a good co-parenting relationship with his ex, his baby mama is nowhere to be found, and his girlfriend is great. Perfect, really, and he's ready to take his and Claire's love story to the next level. There's just one problem, Victor. But what's new? The mustache has always been a thorn in every Abbott side. Adding to the drama is his whole Dumis mystery. Diane and Jack are ready to pack their bags and take flight, but will Kyle go with them? Should he? Or does someone need to stay behind and hold down the Jabot fort? With looming threats from the great Victor Newman ringing alarm bells nearly every single day, it stands to reason someone stay while the others go. Expect Kyle, Jack, and Diane to discuss these and several other hot topics when they get to chatting in the Abbott living room. This family has a lot on their plate, and it's time to sort through these murky waters and come up with some plans and backups to those backup plans. The Young and the Restless spoilers tease that there are 3 beautiful and talented GC ladies with man trouble: Claire Newman, Sally Spectra, and Chelsea Lawson. How could these gorgeous gals be suffering in the guy department? Let's find out why and our fans. First off, Chelsea thinks that her beau Adam Newman has turned over a new leaf. She's about to find out. When will she get tired of treating him like her second son and thwarting his anger toward Billy Abbott? Adam is caught between trying to please Chelsea and his dad, Victor Newman. It can't end well for Chelsea. Speaking of Billy, Sally is in the same boat as Chelsea, trying to tame her bad boy. When will they realize that the wild part is what attracted them in the first place? They are not going to be happy with a watered-down version of their men. Sally deserves so much more than a guy who once got his wife kidnapped by thugs to force him to pay his gambling debts. Just saying. Claire is also trying to micromanage a bad boy in Kyle Abbott. And by extension, she is trying to manage Victor's perception of him, which will never happen. Because of Claire, Kyle signed a contract with Victor, pledging to give him $1 million if he disappoints Victor's granddaughter. Kyle is about to find himself less of a millionaire soon, when Audra Charles gets done with him. We can't deny that the 3 ladies have good intentions, but how much time should an adult devote to policing their romantic relationships? The GC gang are about to be guests of Aristotle Dumis soon, and we predict that some shenanigans will shake up one or more of the 3 unions. Who do you think will be the first to fall at the French chateau? The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Thursday, June 12, 2025. Fans can expect Chelsea Lawson to offer Victor Newman a deal. Will the Newman patriarch agree to the terms in order to find out Aristotle Dumis' true identity ahead of the party in Nice? Meanwhile, Claire Grace Newman gives her final decision to Kyle Abbott. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's begin with Claire, who will get updates from Kyle about Audra Charles' proposition. The blonde will warn her boyfriend about Audra. After all, the brunette zoomed into Genoa City and was part of a pretty big business scheme. Fans also know that Audra can play with the big boys just fine and can handle herself. In any case, it's not business that Claire is worried about, but Audra's temptress powers. While Claire will warn Kyle about Audra's patterns in history, it seems she will give him her support. Of course, fans know that Audra is working for Victor to get Kyle away from Claire. Claire will be busy worrying about her father, Cole Howard. Claire might even go with Victoria Newman to the hospital in Chicago where Cole has been transferred. Fans know that it seems this might be the last time Victoria and Claire see Cole alive. The Young and the Restless spoilers for tomorrow reveal that Chelsea thinks she knows Dumis' true identity. Chelsea will have her meeting with Victor and offer him a deal. Chelsea could agree to give Victor a name, but want a deal before putting the puzzle pieces in place. Chelsea might also tell Victor how she came to this conclusion. It seems that Chelsea's prediction could be believable, but she could be wrong. In exchange for the information, Chelsea will want Victor to lay off Billy Abbott. Fans will also see Audra have to explain her trip to Nate Hastings. Will she tell him that Kyle is going to be there as well? Or will Audra lie to her boyfriend and tell him she's going on a different business trip? With Dumis' debut coming up, what will happen at this party in Nice? What exactly is this Dumis character up to? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Thursday, June 12, 2025? The Young and the Restless spoilers note that fans need to brace themselves for some drama up ahead in Genoa City. A catfight gets ugly, while a deal goes downhill and a persona is blown to smithereens. What's slated to unfold on the CBS soap? Time to talk about it. The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that Audra Charles is full steam ahead when it comes to breaking up the romance between Claire Newman and Kyle Abbott. From the sounds of it, something will go down between the two during Aristotle Dumis' party in France, and both Audra and Kyle may cross a line. In doing so, there will be backlash to face, and the entire plan between her and Victor Newman may be exposed. The Moustache will hear it from both Nikki Newman and Victoria Newman. However, Audra will likely bear the brunt of confrontations, considering she's got a boyfriend that she claimed to love in Nate Hastings. Still, while there will be no excuse for what Kyle did, the face-off between Audra and Claire will be an interesting one. Claire acts like a sweet girl, and she is, but something tells fans that if she's pushed to her limit, an ugly side could emerge. After all, she is Victor's granddaughter and was raised by Jordan, right? Speaking of Kyle, he signed a contract with Victor promising he'd pay the Moustache $5 million and leave GC if he broke Claire's heart. Will he come to regret this? If he and Audra do something at Dumis' shindig and get exposed, causing his romance with Claire to blow up, Kyle will be left scrambling. The money he needs to pay may not be an issue. However, leaving the little town will be. Can Kyle find a loophole in the contract that could break this deal? All arrows are pointing to Billy Flynn's debut happening very soon, and he'll likely be the Kane Ashby recast, hiding behind the Aristotle Dumis persona. How upset will Lily Winters be when she finds out? She's used to Kane's lies by now, but this one, she may feel, is inexcusable. Will Kane have reunion hopes? He may as well flush those down the toilet. Regardless, Flynn's debut and Dumis coming out of the shadows will be a moment most fans won't want to miss. Even from beyond the grave, Ian is still causing trouble for Mariah. Maria's secret has her unraveling on the Young and the Restless. Every time anyone tries to talk to her, Maria brings up her traumatic past with Ian. Could the notorious cult leader be responsible for her latest ordeal? Ever since Maria returned from her business trip, she's been keeping a secret from her wife, Tessa. The only details Maria revealed was that she got drunk and did something that would make Ian proud. Maria suffered a lot of torment because of Ian, and even though he's gone, she's still haunted by him. Her painful past with Ian might have caused her to make the biggest mistake of her life. Mai and R finally gave a glimpse at what happened during Mariah's trip. In a flashback, Maria is drinking in a bar when an older man approaches her. It's unclear what happens next. Theories range from Mariah committing murder to being with the man. Whatever occurred, it's traumatized Mariah and has her believing she's a bad person. Fan theories are emerging that Ian might be behind what happened on Mariah's trip. Although Ian is dead, characters return from beyond the grave all the time. Ian could have survived his gunshot wound, then had plastic surgery to alter his appearance. With a new face, he easily could spy on Mariah and continue torturing her. The young and the restless spoilers reveal that everyone is taking guesses as to who Aristotle Dumis could really be. While there are tons of speculations, there is one fan theory that is quite interesting. What if Dumis is really Nick Newman's missing son, Christian Newman? The unseen character has been mentioned a few times recently, so let's get started discussing the possibility. There has been a lot of talk about Dumis and this party. He's invited half of Geno City too. It's likely not the man's real name and is just a cover, especially since he's so elusive and mysterious. Victor Newman battled with Dumis over companies before, but he's never actually seen the man. This has people wondering who Dumis really is. Fans know that a lot of people have been speculating on Dumis' true identity. At one time, I was convinced it was Tucker McCall. One fan even wondered if Dumis was a woman, such as Mamie Johnson or even Jill Abbott herself. There are also Dumis invitations to the party in Nice. Everyone is wondering why Dumis would do this, and it does seem like an ambush. It sounds like all the power players will be together in one place, the perfect time for Dumis to drop a bomb. A fan on Reddit suggested that Dumis could really be Nick's son, Christian. Fans know that Christian hasn't been seen in a long while. Fans have wondered why other kids have returned but not Christian. Even Katie Newman and Johnny Abbott showed up a while back. The fan on Reddit believes that Christian is sick and tired of being forgotten about. It very well could be some kind of revenge plan, and to show his family what he's capable of if given half the chance. Now, Christian seems too young, even if he is aged up, to battle Victor over companies in the past. At the same time, soaps love to rewrite history to make the pieces fit. It would be nice to have Christian return at some point. Faith Newman has been around quite a bit in the past several months. I'm not convinced that Dumis is Christian, but I do think the young man could be involved in another way. Dumis seems to like to use people as covers. That was Damian Kane's role, so maybe it will be Christian's too.